Firstly, with yourself, coach, big match against Al Ahly, the North Africans. I think it's one of the fixtures that have become a marquee fixture on the African continent. Your thoughts ahead of this match?
Yeah, thanks T, and good morning to members of the media. Once again, just to thank you for your patience. As you say, T, it's become a marquee fixture and one that we enjoy playing also. I think this group has shown that over the last couple of occasions. And we're looking forward to what's going to be a very difficult semi-final first leg at home against a very good side.
Thank you, Coach. Ronza, from your end, just on behalf of the players, playing a big match like the semi-finals of this competition, your thoughts on that?
Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, we are happy and privileged to be part of this wonderful initiative, the AFL. We are looking forward to the game. It's a big one, but we pride ourselves in playing the big games. We just love playing football, so we're excited. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a big one, and that's what we love to do. So we're looking forward to the game.
Thank you, Ronan. Members of the media, it's your opportunity to ask questions. Your name and publications, starting with you, sir.
Okay. My name is Omar Sobhi from Abu Dhabi Sports TV channel. I need to ask you about the Peter Chalwili and
Sorry,
Lucas
sir, if you
Costa.
can just wait for the mic.
And third one.
Just hold on a sec, just hold on.
Hello, coach. My name is Omar Sobhi from Abu Dhabi Sports TV channel. I want to ask you about Peter Chalwili and Lucas Costa and the AMND. It's available and ready to the match against the
Who's the third one, sorry?
AMND, the Chile's one.
Allende.
It's available, ready for the match?
You know why I laugh? Because if you only had asked about the first two, I would tell you how much of a genius you are. Yeah, no, it's difficult. No, look, we focused on what's available for us, and we're trying to do the best that we can with regards to the squad. It doesn't help speaking about the players that are unavailable. So a lot of my focus is on who's available and what we're going to do with what's available.
Coach,
Sure, Kamo.
thank you for your time today.
Level is high. Thanks, Kamo.
Thank you for your time today. For kickoff. Coach, last time you guys met at Loftus, you and Al Ahly, you guys beat them 5-2 in what was quite a comprehensive victory. But after that, it seemed like it was a turning point for Al Ahly, and they went on this insane streak to win all these competitions. What have you seen from them as an improvement ever since that encounter, in a sense?
There's been quite a lot of improvements. There's been quite a few changes. Structurally, they've kept more or less the same sort of offensive structure. Maybe apart from the possibilities of Dieng playing a little bit higher than normal. They either use Atia or Koka as the sitting midfield. So the structure is more or less what they used to do in the midfield. The preferred 10 is Afsha, of course, with a little bit more movements from the opposite half space, maybe to create some space for Percy, who inverts from the right side. And then there's also a lot of possibilities with the fullbacks, Malul, very good, aggressive. Hani, very, very important for them with the overloads and the underlaps. But yeah, for sure, a good team. They've done some good work also in the transfer market to improve the squad. So we, as I said, we play against a very difficult team. We know how difficult they are, but they also know how difficult we are, and we're looking forward to that encounter. I thought you were a journalist, Coach Wendy's. I was gonna ask if you're coming for this press conference or the next one. Is it? We'll look for it and help you find it. Sure.
Okay, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I'll start with the coach. Coach, you had a very special guest yesterday at Sundowns, a world champion.
Yeah.
South Africa's only world boxing champion.
Yeah.
You know, please take us through why you thought that was important ahead of such a to invite him ahead of such a big game. And I'll extend the same question to Ronwen, because I was told that, you know, I got a bit emotional for some players hearing his story. What is it about this current generation that are just not only content in doing well in the PSL, you guys want to also dominate on the continent?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. First and foremost, I want to thank the coach, you know, for inviting Asive over to come and spend time with us. I mean, like the coach always says, you know, success has the same clues, and his story, you know, is motivation for all of us, because we all come from similar backgrounds, you know, we all have similar stories to, you know, to share. So to hear from someone like him and to see what he's achieved, you know, under the difficult circumstances, you know, it's proof that you can achieve, you know, what you put your mind to. You know, there's going to be a lot of obstacles, a lot of setbacks, and a lot of negativity. You know, our country is filled with a lot of negativity, and they're looking to bring one down, but you need to stand, like he said, 10 toes down, you know, and believe in yourself and, you know, keep going and, you know, show the faith and the perseverance. You know, the key thing that he, you know, expressed that I took out of that was the perseverance, to not give up. And especially, you know, the current crop of players, you know, we've all got big ambitions, you know, starting with the AFL now. You know, it's a big dream of ours. You know, last year when they made mention that it's possible, that it's going to happen, you know, the first thing we said is we want to be part of it and we want to win it, you know. So that's the, you know, that we'll take out of his story, you know, is the belief, first and foremost, that we can win it, and then second, to go out there and achieve it. So it's wonderful, you know, that he came to us and, you know, shared his story. So hopefully his success, you know, can rub off on us.
What is it about this current generation of players that are just not content? You guys always want more. You're so critical of yourselves. Even when we spoke to Debza, he wants more. And even in our conversations with you, Ronza, you always want more. What is it? What's that burning desire? Where does it come from?
Because it's possible. You know, it's possible. We've seen it happen before. And yes, for some reason, we haven't achieved as much as, you know, we'd like to as a country. But, you know, it's possible. You see a lot of players going overseas now. So they're opening doors for us, you know, and they're giving us that motivation, you know, that it's possible. You just see Lyle Foster 2 days ago extending his contract, you know, so that, you know, it shows that it's possible. So we just need to keep believing, put South Africa, you know, back where it belongs, because we've got the ability, but how long are we only going to discuss the ability? We need to start doing. And I think the mentality has shifted over the last few years, as you can see, you know. So, and I mean, having, you know, the mighty Sundowns, you know, each and every season raising the bar, you know, it sets a high standard, you know, not only local, but on the continent, globally as well. So, you know, we just need to believe that it's possible, go out there and achieve our dreams.
Yeah, Mr. Mudiwa, I think Ronwen has put it so eloquently. First is just to publicly thank Asive for coming and his management team for taking time out to come and visit us. And of course, the objective was exactly that. They say if you spend enough time close to the barber, you end up getting a haircut. So hopefully we end up also winning African competitions and being African champions like he was. And that's where he started. He conquered Africa first, and then he went on to conquer the world. And like Ronza puts it, success has the same clues. And so hopefully his winning mentality, the winning feeling, the winning dust, you know, gets to be put through to us. So that's generally where we are. But just to extend, on behalf of the players, the technical team, and the club, just to extend incredible and heartfelt appreciation towards Sive and his management team for taking the time out to share their story and their experiences with us.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take the last round of questions.
Thanks, T. Naoma Sanna fan vlog. Ronza, I want to talk a bit about playing style, and maybe as a prelude to my question, I want to talk about the fifth goal Sundown scored against Al Ahly last season. And it's a goal that starts with, I think, Mtobi or Grant, I can't remember, taking the goal kick and giving it to you, and then you play a pinpoint ball to Allende. And it's one of the most, like, the football purists on social media were salivating. I want to talk about you playing like that as a goalkeeper, and with Coach how Coach Rulani wants to play, and if he allows his crazy ideas. Like, what is it that how is it working with him? And
it's crazy.
Like, and from what we see and what we enjoy and what we see, and how difficult is it for you then to execute those things that he expects of you? Obviously, like, and they always say the primary job of a goalkeeper is to keep the ball out the net, but at Sundowns with Coach Rulani, you're expected to do more. Like, so, like, what is it that, how is it to work with him, and how easy is it to, maybe execute it?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, he's an amazing human, amazing coach, and he never settles. He's always looking for ways to improve you as a player, as a person. So I knew coming here that they've got a style of play. And I mean, the first day I came here, everything was prepared for me. I had video clips cut already of the way they play, the way they start. So I can remember all the variations from last season already, and this season we're adding, because that's how football's moving. It's always moving, looking for new ideas, new opportunities, and the coach he's never happy. Even with that build-up to it's trending like that, he's always looking how we could have been better. So it's always amazing. You always have to be ready and learn and do your corrections. Like, the coach is big on that. So as much as the people see the finished product, there's so much going on behind the scenes, so many mistakes. I mean, coach can, he can vouch for me. When I signed, my first game was a friendly game against Swallows at Loftus, and I made a mistake and they scored. And I thought, my chance is done. And, he believed in me. He said, this is the way we play now. And obviously I learned from that, and I knew that's the way going forward. And I had to analyze as myself, as a team, how I could be better and how I can help the team, add, that extra number, make it 11 versus 10. So yeah, it's amazing, but it's down to the coach's hard work that he does. It's down to the players, the information that we take and the ability to go out there and do it. It's an experiment, but we do it. We spend hours and hours, not only on the field, but on the video clips as well. So that's where you see how you can improve and how you can become better as a team.
Thank you, colleagues. We'll take the last two questions and then we'll close it so that we allow the coach to go for training.
Okay, Coach, in the past you have often said that winning the Champions League is not an obsession. And I guess that comes from the fact that it's a long and challenging tournament to win. But here, where you sit now, you potentially can win this tournament in 4 games' time. In 6 matches, you are a champion. Will you still say the same thing? I know it's a new tournament, but it's easier, in inverted commas, to win than the Champions League. And also, secondly, for both of you, if maybe your messages to the Springboks who are playing in the World Cup final tonight.
Yeah, I'll leave the message to Ronza, because I think internally we've already recorded one. But yeah, well wishes, and we wish them all the best for the final. It's a difficult question to answer, because it's quite complicated, and for the mere fact that it is not only in relation to the profile of the clubs that we participate against, both in the Champions League and the AFL. I would err on the side of caution by using the word easy to win the AFL. I can understand why you would say that, because unlike the Champions League, you don't have the qualifying rounds, you don't have the group stages, and you go immediately into the last 8. And so by mere fact that you've got less matches to play, I can understand why you use the word, but for sure, it probably is even harder. And the only way to look at it is the facts. The facts are there. Last season's semi-finalists in the Champions League are the same teams that are in the semi-finals of the AFL. So the Champions League is a very, very difficult competition to win. And so for sure, because of the profile and the level of the teams, and so is the AFL. What makes it a dream and not an obsession is that it has to be process driven. We've got to get ourselves into a position where we're in the semi-finals every single time. And then we progressively get ourselves into being in the finals every single competition. And that's what the Wydad do. That's what Ahly do. They make sure they put themselves in the head. And this is something that we are trying to do. And of course, we understand that we live in times where people are not as patient as probably, I don't want to say medieval times, because then that's going a little bit too far. But for sure, society today is less patient and a little bit more demanding for results now. And that's what we understand, and we try our level best to shortcut the circuit. But football being still a sport that is quite traditional and old school, it is still a process-driven sport that requires consistency, a lot of hard work and attention to detail and longevity in the motivation for you to get the results that you deserve. And this is what we have an understanding of, So we are just happy that we are in this privileged position to witness that and fight against football heritage. If you check the number of times that the North African teams have succeeded in African competitions, and I'm not talking only just based on club competitions, I'm talking about even at national team level, because that's where majority of the Sundowns players also operate, So it is very difficult, and we are fighting against not just very, very good opposition, but we're fighting against principalities, football heritage. We're fighting against football monopoly, in a very loose way of explaining it, and that's the dominance that has come from North Africa. And as Ronza said, we can't keep speaking about, oh yes, we have the potential to do it. We've got to produce. We've got to produce and put things on the table, and that's our focus too. For the box. For the box.
First and foremost, would like to congratulate the Springboks for reaching yet another World Cup final. We want to wish them all the best tonight. Go out there, continue writing history for the nation, for the country. We're fully behind you guys. Go out there and do what you guys do best. You guys know how to do it. You've proven it before. So from our side, we'd just like to wish you guys all the best tonight. Go out there and do your best.
Thanks, T.
I'm telling you, this thing is deeper than it looks.
Thanks, T. Sure. Coach, in May, you said in that very same position, and you said Sundowns has to play the Sundowns way.
Sure.
You want to win the major tournaments on the continent, playing the Sundowns way.
Sure.
You are in a semi-final now of the African Football League. Have you taken stock from May up until now are you still convinced to say you still want to win the Sundowns way and not conform to something that will be foreign to you? Are you still convinced, and do you still go out and try to win this competition the Sundowns way?
Yes, 100%. And if I don't, then I have to teach something that I've got no emotional attachment towards. And the level of the emotional attachment sometimes is also determines the level of attachment that the players have, because once the players see an artificialized way of doing certain things, they are very football players are very smart. Of course, I've used this term since the beginning of the season, and I speak to the players about it even just yesterday. And when I speak about chameleons, is the proper animal to use, because a chameleon can never change. It's a reptile, and it's a cold-blooded reptile. The only thing that changes with the chameleon is its decision to adapt to its environment. It doesn't you look at the chameleon, it walks up a tree, and while it's on the bark, it can still be green because it was maybe in the grass. And as it climbs the bark, it then recognizes its environment. And to camouflage and to feel like it belongs, it then makes the decision to change to a brownish color. And you can even go into a deeper space to say by camouflaging, it also protects itself from being vulnerable around its environment too. And so that is the same thing with I think a football club that has to succeed in the modern game, and not just on the African continent, but I think you've got to be able to. You watch football now, you see teams play in relation to what the picture tells them, not necessarily about we want to play a certain way and we are obsessed by it. No, we understand that when we decide to be a team that sits a little bit lower, we know why we are doing that. When we decide to be a team that presses a little bit more or higher and closer to the opposition box, we know why we want to do that. When we are a team that wants to build from the back, and we make that decision in relation to what the game informs of us. And that is my crazy understanding of where the game is. I just think the game is where society is. Society is at a place where I can make a crazy decision at home to still wear my skinny pants, or my skinny jeans in an age where everything is baggy. But it takes a lot of self-confidence to be able to do that. And that's exactly what we were trying to be. We want to be a team that's got a lot of self-confidence to still be able to play a certain way that maybe not a lot of people would confirm as the normal way of playing and competing for the Champions League, but still be able to adapt to the questions that the competition asks of us. And that is why we've made some small Nyana tweaks in our organizational forms, is to be able to be adaptive and to respond to what we know will be the questions that the competitions will ask us, but still keep our identity as cold-blooded reptile. And that's the most important thing in answering your question, I think.
Thank you, Coach. Colleagues, that brings us to